I'm Ana de Armas, and today
I'm gonna break down my movie, Deep Water.
But before we get started, please make sure
To subscribe to this channel to get notified for latest movie breakdown. Also be warned, there will be major plot spoiler ahead. The main character, Vic, first appears at the start of the film, riding a bike. My character, Melinda, is sitting outside the home, looks at her husband as he arrives home. They had a little daughter, which was revealed in the next scene. She is singing along to her favorite song while her mother annoyingly yells at her. Later, Melinda asks Vic as he enters the room to select a dress for her. She also asks him to fetch her black shoes, which he gladly does. Basically, this demonstrates that Vic follows what Melinda orders. Then they attend a party where they get to converse with their friends and drink alcohol. Vic was watching Melinda as she began to interact with her old buddy Joe after seeing him. Melinda immediately takes his friend into a separate room and begins kissing him. Vic is aware of the situation, and despite the fact that they catch each other's eyes, Melinda continues to indulge in her fantasy with her friend. When this was not enough to grab everyone's attention, Melinda starts to dance on top of a piano and then she starts to play to make everyone happy. Regardless of her bizarre antics, Vic smiles at her as if nothing has happened. Later that evening, in a conversation with Vic, Joe says thanks for allowing him to see Melinda. Vic told him about a man named Martin McRae who went missing recently. Vic makes the assertion that he is the one who made the man disappear. Vic assures him that it is obvious if he continues to commit the same error. But Joe believes it to be a joke and he immediately departs the scene. Melinda disapproves Vic of his treatment of her friend. Later that evening, Melinda shows up in the kitchen without a shirt on while Vic was speaking to their babysitter. Vic attempts to shoo her away as he does not like this. Melinda is clearly annoyed by this, so she leaves defiantly. The story starts to reveal more about this couple. Melinda is a careless and selfish woman. Vic also has a hobby of keeping snails as his pet. Vic reconnects with his friends a few days later. He learns there that everyone is aware of how he made a Martin McRae joke and threatened Joe. They also claim that Melinda is sick, since she behaves in such a way in front of Vic. Melinda learns about this at home and instructs Vic to make amends, as she invites Joe for a Friday dinner. Joe knocks on the door on Friday, and is greeted by Vic. He inquires nervously if Melinda is at home, to which Vic once more quips that she isn't. Later, Vic informs him that they will eat some seafood and chat, but he learns that Joe has a shellfish allergy. Melinda was certain of this, but she refrained from telling Vic. Later at the table, Vic offers Joe a grilled cheese sandwich, and Melinda begins to behave in a way that seems to be intended to irritate her husband. She instructed Vic to read bedtime stories to their kid and put her to sleep. Vic finds Melinda and Joe having fun together after reading a bedtime story. As Vic made a joke about killing Martin McRae, Joe demands an apology from him. Vic responds to him by telling him it wasn't a joke and giving him a phone number. Vic and Melinda are having a conversation with a writer at a party one day. He makes fun of Martin McRae and calls him a murderer. Vic dances with another female partner. Melinda is envious after seeing the women and afterwards compares herself to them. She attempts to interact seductively with Vic when he is driving. Later, when Vic and Melinda are enjoying a game with their daughter, he receives a call from his bank regarding Melinda's bank account. He learns that she sent $3,000 to a pianist, and he begins to look into this individual further. He eventually encounters a pianist who is both extraordinarily attractive and skilled. Melinda also approaches him and starts flirting. Vic greets Melinda at night and inquires as to her whereabouts. She appeared to be somewhat drunk. While he was driving his daughter home, he runs into the pianist carrying flowers once more. The same day, the flowers are still in his house. Once again, he worries about his wife having an affair behind his back. He is primarily at home, while Melinda is out working hard and getting banged by the pianist. Vic confronts her about not returning home for the entire night and using his funds to cheat on him. But regardless of what he does, she doesn't care about his sentiment. She is so self-conscious, as she even informs Vic that she and the pianist have a wonderful bedtime routine. Melinda extends the man an invitation to their party the next week, where Vic and he even shake hands. He discovers his wife having sex with another man once more. Melinda is so irresponsible that she would act inappropriately around his husband. As it begins to rain, everyone retreats inside to continue the party. There is no sign of the pianist, so Melinda tries to see how he is doing. She starts to scream as she sees him dead in the pool. Everyone rushes outside after noticing this to try to pull him from the water and give him CPR. Unfortunately, the man has already passed away. Melinda begins to blame his husband as the police begin their investigation. Cops ask Vic for the obvious after learning of the murder, but they did not discover anything unusual when they spoke. Later, he asked Melinda about her level of fear of him. She claims that because he killed them because of her, she is not scared at all. Vic later sees Melinda and another man together. He sees flashes of him killing the guy while he is riding his bicycle. Their buddies will be invited to dinner later. He asks his friend to stop accusing him of being a murderer. He's incredibly suspicious, and he would occasionally meet with his Melinda to talk about this. Vic was casually strolling one day when noticed several cameras in his wife's car. He notices Melinda seated next to a man who identifies as a psychologist. Later, he tells the friend's wife that he and Melinda hired a private investigator to look into him, which causes the couple to argue. Later, Vic discovers that once again, she is seeing another man. Vic and Melinda's friend Tony meet inside the house one day. As soon as Melinda enters, she gives Tony a husband-like embrace. She tells Vic throughout their conversation that Tony was the first American she ever slept with. Tony starts to blush and laugh out loud at this. Vic appears a little irritated after seeing all of this. Later that evening, they begin to eat and listen to enjoyable music. In front of Vic, Melinda and Tony begin to dance in an indecently. Vic sees them going to the bedroom as well. He notices that she is doing her usual thighs as they catch each other's eye. Vic, tell Tony that Melinda wants to meet him in a few days and make him sit in his Jeep. He brings him to a remote location away from the city. He keeps asking him questions about Melinda and his dating history. Vic picks up a large rock and throws it at Tony after they get out of the car, as Vic able to kills him immediately. After that, Vic puts him in the water with a large rock to keep him submerged after the incident. He happily returns home. The next day, they decide to have a picnic in the same spot where he killed Tony. Vic notices the body floating on top of the river. He learns at night that Melinda is talking to another man named Don. That night, she tells him she loves him and begs him to sleep in her room. Vic returns to the same location the following day to take care of Tony's body. Meanwhile at Vic's office, Melinda finds Tony's wallet. As Vic pushes Tony's body into the water, a man suddenly arrives. The man asks what he's doing when all of a sudden, a hand emerges from the river. The man sees this and starts to run away as Vic chases him on his bicycle. The man eventually gets into an accident as the pursuit goes on. Vic returns home on his bike as the opening sequence of the movie is shown. Melinda did not inform the police Vic's action and as she burns Tony's ID in the fire. Thank you for watching this video. Watched for the ending explanation